Turn 3, Cygnar, upkeep and transference, and then Runewood is going to advance through the woods, give himself Pathfinder, and Admonition, he jumps out of the way. And I should have just shot my cannon at him, but I totally forgot to. Oh well. The Stormcaller shoots at the Agonizer and tips him for a bit of damage. And then the Precursors have a charge order, and so they're trying to maneuver around the Brute. And then trying to maneuver to get the max number of guys in the combat. It is pretty tricky. I try to move my guy, but realize that actually he's clipping the other one, so I have to move the guys in the back first. I realize I left a small gap so the Brute can see through, and so as I try to charge, I take a chance, but he does get a free strike because he has a reach. He can see through that gap. And so he does hit and kill that Precursor, but the other one closes the gap, the other one runs around, and then my UA charges. And the remaining guys charge into the Agonizer. I want to make sure I can get a point here for the scenario, and the other guys run up and block Hedgeway. The other guys from contesting. Hopefully we'll be able to get 2 in a row. I then attack the Brute and try to do some damage. I use Morrow's name, might as well, while I can, so I get an extra dive damage. So even though I'm not charging, don't get the full charge distance, I do get an extra dive damage, and I forgot to, very unfortunately, to actually boost with Constance's Fury, because I do have transference up, but I completely forgot. And so I do a lot of damage to the Brute. He should have been killed if I would have, maybe, who knows. But then, when I did get the attack on the Agonizer, very much slaughtered him. Then the Sword Knights turn around and walk up and start hitting the Bronze back. He's impossible to remember name. And I just roll the hits, and then I just do the Precision Strike. And so I do just 3 auto damage, 2 to his 1 and 1 to his 2. Then Gallant activates, gets his 1 free focus, and hits the Gladiator for some decent damage, considering. And then gets his another initial shield, and does hit, but, does manage actually some damage as well. So quite nice hits, even though I didn't give him any focus. Then Constance moves up with a bajillion focus, and then I feat. So be defensive nectar. So I get 1 point over there on the right. Turn 3, Skorne. Morgul decides to suck all the fury off of the Gladiator, and then 1 fury off of the Brute. And so I think he needs 5 or less. And so he furies, and the Bronzeback kills the closest little Sword Knight with ease, and all his fury is gone now. Then the Brute, he needs a 7 or less, but rolls an 8. His luck is holding out, it seems. Or not. And randomized hits the Standard Bearer, which is the most useless one of my guys, so that was great. And I get a soul because of my feat. Then the Cyclops Shaman decides to activate, and he moves up and takes a shot at my guy that's controlling the objective, and manages to miss him. Luckily for me. And so, kind of last minute trying tactics here. The Pain Givers charge into, and they have anatomical precision, so if they just touch you, you're dead. At least if you're infantry. And so he does kill a few more, but he does miss, and I have a few souls on me now. And now Morgul decides to charge my 1 Precursor Knight, just way over. And with his movement of 7, he can move quite fast. So he does manage to kill him, moves an inch up, then makes a second initial against my Stormsmith, which does manage to hit and kill him because he also has anatomical precision. Moves another inch, casts Admonition on himself, and then sprints all the way back over to safety. And so now the Gladiator starts hitting into Gallant to try to kill him, and does actually start dealing out a heavy amount of damage. Luckily, no systems are dead yet. And he manages to take out my right arm, which is my shield, I do believe. And with 1 last attack, he does miss. So turn 4, Cygnar. Constance has a whole lot of focus. And so starting off, we move Runewood up behind to use up admonition. And then now I gotta focus on killing the brute. So we're doing a charge order. And so they all can charge and or run. And the only way to be able to run and attack with the same unit. And so the one runs up to try to give, just engage Morgul, even though he's immune to free strikes. You'll see in a second. And then my other precursors are kind of just moving out of the way. And they're attacking the brute. Or no, one gets a free strike. Or no, yes, he did die. And the rest are attacking the brute, trying to deal as much damage as I can do. But I'm keeping all the constants, all the focus on constants. Probably should have upkept transference either. But I do manage to hurt and wound the brute. But I don't manage to kill him, and he's still there, and he is in the way between Constance and Morgul. And so Gallant will allow activate, get his free focus from the accumulator, and then smash on the brute. He does manage to hit, and then boosting damage. It should be easy roll, but it was exactly enough, barely, and manages to kill the brute, which I still probably could have got around anyways, but at least. I do. Now, I'm not sure if I was in range, but I cast Crusader's Call for the extra charge distance. I still have 7 focus left. And so I boost my charge roll and fail. I need 8s to hit, even with flank Morrowind. And so I get +2 to hit, so my mat is effectively 9 right now, but I still need 8 to hit very high Morgul. So one good hit deals 9 damage. And then I cast a flashing blade, so she gets an attack against each person she's in melee with. Make another attack and miss by another attack and managed to hit, got that 8, and then didn't boost damage. I probably should have, and did 15 damage. And so he takes off a Fury and pawns it on the Bronzeback. But the Bronzeback is super healthy, and so it's actually not that big of a deal at all. Don't manage to take out any systems either. Almost taking out his spirit. But then the last attack also misses, and so a slightly failed charge there. But Constance is pretty tough. I don't think Morgul can take him out by himself. And everyone else is engaged. So game not over yet, and just a few more damage to the Bronzeback, and I do manage to take out his spirit, thankfully. So he's not full strength at least. So, end of turn 4 Cygnar. It's 1-0 Cygnar.